everybody. So today's episode we will be doing improve the moment, or we're gonna go back to skills, learn some things to be able to help. So please stay tuned. All right, so we're gonna get back into some distress tolerance skills. Remember, distress tolerance skills is just being able to allow you to tolerate a situation, not necessarily make it better. So that is the goal, just to be able to tolerate, because if we go ahead and if we just tolerate it, then we can get through, because the situation is really like temporary and it's not really gonna last forever. So if we're able to tolerate it and not make it worse, then like we're like golden, or maybe like almost golden. Improve the moment is really about like replacing immediate negative events with more positive ones. So that's what improve the moment is. In a second I'll get to exactly what improve the moment is, but we kind of have to get to like why improve the moment is kind of helpful. So again, it's just more about replacing negative ones with more positive ones, or maybe ones at least we can tolerate a little bit. So when use improve the moment is when we feel like some kind of situation is just so distressing or just so stressful, and we're just like and we feel like it's gonna last a very, very long time. Then that would be a good time to use improve the moment. Or when we're trying to distract ourselves and the distracting just really isn't working too well, or we're trying to like soothe ourselves in some way, maybe doing some like breathing, maybe looking at a glitter jar, putting some lotion on, whatever it is, and it's just not really helpful either. So then you might start doing some improve the moment. Maybe that might be helpful. Okay, so the first one then is I, obviously, imagery. So then M means meaning, P is for prayer, R is for relaxation, O is for one thing at a time, V is for vacation, and E is for encouragement. So let's get into them a little bit more, and then I'll explain them, like how you might be able to use them. Okay, the first one, imagery. So imagery, you're just going ahead and you're just kind of like thinking about a time that was just maybe a little bit more fun, and you went ahead and you kind of put yourself in that situation, how great it was. Another way to use imagery is to go ahead and kind of like visualize like the negative stuff just like inside of you, and then just kind of like draining out. Other things that people go ahead and do is imagining like putting their little worry thoughts into boxes and just kind of putting them up somewhere. Below I'll go ahead and I'll explain a little bit more about imagery and ways you can use it. Another way you can use imagery though is if you go ahead and if you think about a time that's been like really amazing, especially recently, like maybe going ahead and being at a Blink-182 concert and having Mark Hoppus sing like right in front of you, and it's just being like amazing. I told him I loved him, but I don't think he heard me, but it's okay. I'll just tell him next time. I'm sure so the next one then is M, which stands for meaning. I feel like I'm in grade school. I'm like in kindergarten and I'm telling everybody like the alphabet, and you're basically just trying to find what is the purpose for this crappy situation. When people are able to get to meaning, they start to go down the road of being able to kind of accept a situation at the very beginning. Not saying like they find meaning and then it automatically happens, but it's definitely like the start of accepting a situation. And then it's kind of like, okay, this is what's going on. Okay, so P then is for prayer. Okay, so prayer, this, I feel like sometimes this becomes like a little controversial a little bit, but it really isn't at all. If people go ahead and if people are able to recognize that there is a greater power within themselves or an entity, as far as like God or Allah or whatever it is you believe in, but if people are able to recognize, okay, there is some greater power going on and I can access that, then it becomes like this moment type thing. In like NA or AA, any of those things, this is almost going into like the serenity prayer. If people don't know what the serenity prayer is, I'll go ahead and I'll post it like right here. Then you guys can go ahead and you can look at it and how kind of like powerful that is. Okay, then R is for relaxation. So really you're trying to find something that's like really, really relaxing. So what is that? What would that look like? For everybody, it's like completely different. For me, it's getting away from my children because I love my children, but they can be just a little too much. So if it's me going ahead and like locking myself in the bathroom for like 5 minutes, sweet, that would be amazing. If it's going ahead and going on a walk, that's great. If it's taking a hot bath, wonderful. Whatever it is, trying to find something that's just really, really relaxing, because when we're in it and it's like yucky and it's just trying to get that break away and being able to relax yourself might be what it is that you need. O is for one thing in the moment. So when we're focusing on one thing in the moment, we're literally just focusing on one thing in the moment. Like that's all it is, like just the one thing in a moment, because we can't really multitask. We can't do a lot of things all at the same time. So when we're in kind of like some distressing situation, what is just one single thing that you can do, and that's it. So if you're like bogged down with work, then just focus on one single aspect of work that you have. If you go ahead and if you have your children yelling at you and you have to get dishes done and you have to sweep and you have to vacuum and you have to do laundry and the dog is like throwing up on the floor, then you maybe need to prioritize a little bit and figure out, okay, I obviously cannot do this all in one time. So what is the one single thing that you can do to be able to like manage all of it? Maybe you might attend to your children because they're the loudest, maybe the most annoying. So you probably go to them first, calm them down, maybe clean up the dog, and then go from there. V is for vacation. So this is my favorite. So you're like, when we're talking about vacation, it's not like going to Fiji, even though that would be like amazing, or Alaska. I think I would probably prefer Alaska, but so it's not really anything like that because that can be kind of expensive. So this is a very brief vacation, like an hour, not really anything more than that. So when we're in a vacation, you go ahead and you kind of like look at what is it that I can do just to get the hell away. Maybe you take a good little nap. That might be good. Maybe you just go ahead and like you hide away in your bed and you don't talk to anybody and you tell everybody, you say, I'm taking a vacation right now and I need you all to just leave me alone. And then there's E, which is encouragement, or it's also called cheerleading. Same thing. So basically, an encouragement, you're going ahead and you're encouraging yourself. You're saying those you can do it statements to yourself. Leslie, you went ahead and you did really, really good right now, and I am seriously like so proud of you because we are being skillful together. Okay? Thank you, Leslie. All right, to go ahead and wrap everything up, improve the moment, imagery, meaning, prayer, relaxation, one thing in the moment, vacation, and encouragement. So those are all very, very important. Remember that you're only going to go ahead and use them when you feel like some kind of distressing situation is like going to go on for like a long time. It's just ongoing and it's just not going to stop, and you're just like, oh. Or when you feel like distracting yourself from the situation, or trying to like soothe yourself in some way is just not going to be very, very beneficial, or it's just not beneficial at all because you're trying to use it and it's just not using it. And then also one last thing is you got to practice these things. If you don't know how to go ahead and like say some kind of like meaningful prayer to yourself, then when you're in a crisis situation, it's just not going to work. You're going to be like trying to say, hey, wise mind, what is it that I can do? And your wise mind's going to be like, why are you talking to me? I don't know why you're talking to me. But if you go ahead and if you're practicing it and you're getting in touch with your wise mind, then your wise mind would be like, Leslie, you know what? I know this is really hard for you right now, but I think we can go ahead and we can get through it together. And your wise mind would be like, see, you know what to do. So you have to practice and practice and practice so you know how to go ahead and do every single skill. So again, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to explain a whole lot more down below. And you can go ahead and you can also find me on Facebook at Leslie, the clinical social worker. Go ahead and also subscribe and click the little bell so you can get some notifications about when I put these videos out. Anyway, I'll see you next time. See you later.